older women are disadvantaged in terms of their health and their disabled status, as are people from the lower social classes, as are people from various minority ethnic groups in the UK. And the third key resource, which is important for autonomy and independence and well-being in later life, is access to caring resources. If you are disabled, frail, unable to care for yourself, what sort of access do you have to carers? And that could be from your own resources, paying for it, money. It could be from other carers living in the same household. And we showed in this book that that's a kind of preferential situation. If you've got carers living in the same household, then that is more beneficial for your well-being than having to rely on carers living somewhere else or to rely on carers from the community or from the state. So that was kind of a framework we used 20 or so years ago, and I would argue that it's still relevant today, but I think we need to expand on it as well. So a lot of the earlier work emphasised the disadvantages faced by older women. And many of these relate to women's life course of caregiving. So in the UK, women often leave the labour market to care for their children or care for older relatives, older parents, and that impacts on their ability to accumulate pensions, so leading to lower pensions in later life, higher levels of poverty, lack of resources, and so on. Older women are much more likely to be widowed, much higher levels of widowhood, and much higher levels of living alone. And to what extent living alone is a disadvantaged or not status. And older women have higher levels of disability and need for care, as I mentioned. So it's very important when thinking about ageing to have a life course perspective, to realise that we don't all enter old age equal. We enter old age because of the nature of our life course, the lives we've led up to that time. For women, their reproductive roles are very important. They might impact on their health in later life, particularly women who've had many children, perhaps in disadvantaged circumstances. But also, clearly, career and employment influences health in later life. If you've worked in a very hard, manual, physical job, the likelihood is you're going to enter later life as more disabled and disadvantaged. And also, your career and employment clearly influences your accumulation of financial capital